Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Scodfather channel. Just come down. In case I didn't introduce myself, this is Matt Rowell. Okay, last year, the Scodfather called me the weapon. I was the weapon. This year, he thinks I'm a spud. Well, he thought I was a spud last year. He got rid of me, but he brought me back. He missed me. Just come down. Okay, but I'm back. Now, he's stuck with me. He can't get rid of me. Okay, but it wasn't my fault. They tagged me. Okay, well, I was sort of a half tag. It wasn't a full tag, but it didn't matter. I tripled my halftime score from the previous week. The previous week I had 9 points at halftime. At least this week I went 90. Oh, sorry, it was 30. Okay, it was only 30. But in the second half, I stopped because the Scodfather was angry. He made me very angry too. I couldn't play. Just come down.
Now, I apologise for bringing on Matt Rowell. I didn't want to bring him on. I was running a bit late and he took the opportunity. He just jumped on. Okay, so I'm not happy about this, but that's not the point. The point is, what's going on this year? Okay, why are we going so bad? Why is it that every week I look at my scores, it's full of spuds? Okay, now, I'm getting killed with 2 rookies, okay? 2 of my rookies are absolutely destroying me. Every week, we're seeing the mistake that I did. Just 2 mistakes has virtually derailed the whole season, and there's nothing I can do to fix it, okay? Whatever I do, I can't fix it. And the 2 mistakes have been Lindsay, who scored the 56, and I missed out on Ashcroft, who scored the 99. Now, that's 40 points every week. Now, if you add up the scores, what Lindsay has scored for the whole year, okay, and you compare that to Ashcroft's, every week, besides 1 week, okay, I'm not sure which actually was that week, the 78. Besides that game, the 78, because that week Ashcroft scored the 34. But the worst part is that probably wouldn't have even counted because it was best 18. So every week I've had a problem with Lindsay versus Ashcroft, and now Ashcroft is playing on the wing, it looks like, so he's actually getting better, whereas Lindsay's getting worse. And then my second problem is I've got Davidson up against what's his name every week, Muric. Okay, so I've got Lindsay versus Ashcroft and Davidson versus Muric every single week, and I can't beat them. Okay, and to make matters worse, okay, the bench, there's nothing on the bench, okay? I don't even have any cash because whoever I bring in or out, they get dropped or injured or something happens to them. So last week we brought in Huswaite. Well, hopefully he still plays, but he should be okay, hopefully. But the bench is cooked. Let's go through the team, okay? It's absolute disaster every single week. Sinclair and Zorko, both of them. If you can recall, back in round 3, okay, I come up with a genius plan, okay, because every year I say top 10 or bust, okay. Now, I've taken the word bust to a new meaning this year, okay. A bust is not just bust, okay, it's absolutely gets smashed, okay, it's not even bust. So the term bust is now become top 10 or gets smashed. So we had Sinclair and Zorko. We brought them in early, okay? We've gone through these before, and we explained the reasons why. At the time, I taught that it's a year of the tags, okay? The midfielders are all getting smashed. We saw at the start of the year, midfielders weren't scoring, so I had a genius plan, okay? I taught, just fill a team with defenders, because midfielders aren't scoring. Well, that hasn't worked out, because the defenders aren't scoring even now. The only one that's scoring is Whitfield, and he's even struggling. Mind you, he had a tag, so these 2 have absolutely destroyed me, Sinclair and Zorko. This decision to bring them in, I should have brought in midfielders, I think. Now, then again, I'm not even sure that was the right decision, okay? But anyway, they're killing me. I paid $600K for these spuds, okay? They're doing nothing. Then we got Rowell scoring 53. It's unacceptable. He's $523K. That's the good thing. He's still got value, okay? If you look at his price, the last 2 rounds, well, have a look at his price. I mean, he was priced at 558K when he was going at 130s, okay, he's still priced at 523. He hasn't dropped in value. That's absolutely incredible. But this week, his break even is 186. So the question, he's going to lose 50k, especially if he scores another 50. Okay, now the question becomes, do I want to keep Rowell? We're going to work it out later in tomorrow's video. But Rowell's killing me. Okay, I brought in Dacos last week because he's Dacos. Okay, but untaggable, that was the word mentioned on Twitter. Okay, Dacos untaggable. Well, the minute I brought him in, he became taggable. So, mind you, last week he scored the 125 when I brought him in, but this week scored the 89. And then I got Brayshaw, and my two players worth 1.3 mil. The two of them, they scored the same as a 120k player virtually. So I can't believe this. Okay, so the rookies are scoring the same as my Jet Primos. I don't have the merits like everyone has to score the 170. I don't have him. Why would I have a good player? Okay, we had what we call a decent player in our team. From the Dogs, okay, Ed Richards scored the 150 this week because why would I keep Ed Richards when I could have brought in, I replaced him with Midfield, okay, so mind you, Richards did fail the previous week, but I thought with the Bont coming into the team, we saw last week he didn't produce with the Bont in. I thought Trelaw's back soon, okay, now Trelaw's playing forward, so that didn't work out, so anyway, Ed Richards left the building last week. It's just not working. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for ideas what to do. Okay, now we got our forward line is set. We brought in Flynn. Okay, now Flynn was a Spud 53. The previous week, let me show you something. Now in round 6, end of round 6, we decided that we're going to trade out Roberts, who wasn't performing, okay, Henderson, who wasn't even playing, and Nevitt. This was our trades, okay. We ended up keeping Nevitt, actually, but our trades were this, and we brought in Gross, who we thought was going to be, an 80 scoring rookie who's not getting a game right now, okay. We brought in Cleary. Well, luckily that one's worked, okay. And we brought in Gawn, okay. This was end of round 6. This was the plan. But what happened was, when I was watching the games, and I was happy with these trades, we saw Flynn score a 140. Okay, now once that happened, we had to find a way to bring him in the next week. Okay, so Flynn scoring that 140 destroyed these trades because then it meant that I couldn't get Gawn in. Okay, because I wouldn't have had money to bring in Flynn the following week. So I brought in Petrarca instead of Gawn, which gave me an extra 100 and something K or 100K extra, which then allowed me to bring in Flynn. Okay, so this was the reason why I didn't bring in Gawn this week. Mind you, I was tossing up between Gawn and also Dacos that week. But I brought in Gawn and I didn't go with it because of Flynn. Mind you, probably at the time, it was the right decision because even though Gawn had a big draw coming up, if you have a look at Petrarca's score since I brought him in, they're not that bad. Now, at the time, as we can see here, I brought in Petrarca in round 7. He scored the 129. But in that game, Gawn scored a 170 something, okay? The following week, Petrarca still scored a 129. So if you're getting a Petrarca at 497, well, it's actually 481k we got him at 481k, and you guarantee, and if you knew that 481k, you're going to bring a Petrarca who's going to score a 129 or 129 back to back. What would you say to this? Okay, would you say let's do it? Okay, would you agree to do it? Well, the funny thing is, I done this trade and I still lost because the play that I was going to bring in Gawn ended up scoring 370 points, whereas Petrarca scored the 260, plus Gawn has the captain score of the 200, which could have added it. So I actually lost on this trade, even though it was a good trade at the time. I can't win. Now, I brought in Flynn that week. Okay, now Flynn, the minute I brought him in, he scored... the 105. Okay, now I'm happy with that because he made this 80k cash. Okay, and we're strapped for cash. So at the time, it was a good trade-in. Playing against Hawthorn as well, it's a decent score, 105. But then last week, it was total disaster. He scored the 43. Now he's ended up making 120, about 123k or something like that cash profits. But was it the right move? Okay, I still, if you ask me now, is it the right move? It's still a 50-50 because I made 120k on Flynn. I got a forward who scored 129 2 weeks back to back. Okay, replaced, virtually took Stone off the field, so I got rid of Stone and put him onto the bench, who eventually become dropped anyway. But I think I still lose on this trade because of the fact that Gorn went 170 and then 200 and now become unattainable. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. So you pick up a player that scores a 129 2 weeks back to back and it's a loss. Okay, work that one out. Now, going back on field, okay, and we talk about Bice and his break scored the 49, and Bice, we were actually at one stage saying that he's going to be as good as a keeper. Well, that's out of the question now because he can't play at the SCG. Just coming down. Okay, what's wrong with him? Okay, if you go to Bice, his scores, have a look at the SCG scores, 52, okay, 49 and 79, and everywhere else he plays it's 96, 124, 89 and a 101. He hates the SCG. Well, luckily this week he plays at Marvel, so maybe he's going to do something. At Marvel he scored a 124 the last time he played there, so well, we're not expecting a 124, but we're hoping better than a 49. Now he's got a break even of 71. Going by those stats, surely he'll get that. So we're going to sort of keep Bice this week, okay? So see how he goes. But Trainer back to 82, so that's decent. Luckily we kept Trainer. I'm happy we kept Reed, all these players. But there are players that are not playing, and we really need them to play. Now, who else is letting us down? Okay, now we got Caleb Daniel letting us down. It's like a double whammy, the Caleb Daniel one, because the player we traded out to bring in Dacos was Cheezels, because Cheezels was playing half forward, and Dacos obviously was a must-have. It was cheap still, heading towards the 700k area like Gorn just did, but Dacos has stopped, okay, but Gorn hasn't. So that one also was a fail, although if I knew Cheezels was going to play half-back, I would have kept him. It didn't happen. So, and Cheezels, if I knew Cheezels was going to get a half-back and take Caleb Daniel's role, I would have traded that Caleb Daniel instead, but no, things just changed around. I can't believe this. So anyway, we're stuck with Caleb Daniel now for the whole year. We're going to keep him. Maybe eventually these roles will change again. Chisel will move out of that half-back line, which I don't think is going to happen now. I think he's going to stay there because the coach said he loves his role there now because he's won a best and fairest playing half-back. Okay, he's had a brainstorm. So the team is cooked. Okay, now what are we going to do with Rowell? We kept Oliver. Okay, now last week with our trades, we had 440k left, and we're going to bring in. Who we're going to bring in? We're going to bring in Rivers. Okay, I decided not to because I didn't want Rivers. Lucky I didn't do that. If we didn't bring in Rivers, we're going to bring in Moore from Hawthorn. Okay, now he got subbed out, so they were both bad moves. So luckily we got that one right. Then we picked up Huswaite. Okay, so this week we can trade Oliver to a better player, which was the plan. So we're going to probably do that this week. But we'll go through that in a minute. Now let's go through this week's actions and let's work out price projections on some players. And we have a look. First up, Zach Merritt, the 172. Now, if you go to Zach Merritt before this one, is he a must-have? Okay, that's going to be a question. Okay, now before this 172, what did Merritt do? Well, he didn't do much. Okay, now if you have a look at his scores, 89 against Collingwood, the 106 against West Coast, and he actually struggled that game. And these games, he kicked goals. I think this Adelaide game kicked maybe 2 or 3 goals. So he's been struggling up until this 172. Then he goes nuts. Okay, now he's up against Sydney. Then he's got Western Bulldogs. Then he's got Richmond. He'll go nuts in this game. I'm not sure how he's going to go against Sydney because the last time he played Sydney, he scored a 74. So that was at Marvel. Was he playing this week? Okay, let's have a look. He's playing at Marvel again. So I'm not sure how he's going to go against Sydney, but he has also scored a 139 against Sydney at Marvel. And we saw last week, Whitfield, he was tagged by Sydney, and Whitfield's history against Sydney previously was a 68 or something against the tag from Sydney, but he scored 111, so it looks like Sydney's tag isn't that good anymore. So maybe Zach Merritt still does get the 120s again against the Swans. So Zach Merritt, okay, if we go into his, actually, go back here, okay, if we go to Zach Merritt, now what happens with Zach Merritt, okay, with his projections, okay, now if he scores, let's say he scores a 70 this week, all right, that's not going to happen, let's say a 90, all right, if he scores a 90 this week, what happens to his price? All right, it doesn't move much, okay, it's still the same price, so you can still get him similar price the following week, so there's no urgency to get him. Then the following week against the Dogs, he goes up a little bit because maybe he scores a 113 or say he scores a 120, all right, against the Dogs. Okay, then his projection goes up to about 610. So you can pick up Zach Merritt next week if you really want to. Okay, now the problem is finding 600k at this time of the year is not easy, especially for a club like Abs Magic who has nothing. Okay, no money. We're going to the scrap bins now. We're gonna dig in deep, try to find them. We can't even go to the markets anymore. We're going to Trash and Treasure now. Okay, we changed our tack and Trash and Treasure it is. Just come down. Now, before I continue, I'm having issues with this microphone. I don't know what's going on. I've tried every single setting possible, and it's having a mood swing today. Okay, I think the Spud, when he came on the show at the start of the program, he ruined the microphone as well, so I can't fix it. So we're going to have to cop the microphone the way it is right now, so I'm trying my best to fix the sound issue, but I can't fix it for some reason. But if we just continue here, because we're going to go through this quickly today, the other players of interest, one is going to probably be Nick Martin, okay, and there's no rush. He's got to break even at 156, so don't rush on Martin yet. Goldie doesn't look like he's going to be the good 62 break even. And if we go further down, Tassatsis has let a lot of people down, and there's a few players coming back. Caldwell will be back this week, so we don't even know if Tassatsis is going to hold that spot. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Ridley's out, so with Ridley out, maybe Zach Reid now can take his role without the kick-ins, but still, Zach Reid's got a really good role right now, so we're happy with Zach Reid. We go to North Melbourne and Cherry, okay, we brought him in last week. We traded out the Gorn. I mean, this one actually worked, okay, so we traded out Gorn, brought in Cherry, and Gorn last week made 46k, so 46k for a poor club like Abs Magic is a lot of cash. So now he's priced at 629k. Is it too late to bring him in case you're asking? Okay, well, let's have a look at his draw coming up. And he's going to play, he's going to play Richmond. He's going to play the Lions. He's going to play Collingwood. He's going to play West Coast. Okay, so if he goes, just say at 130s for the next couple of weeks, okay, he's going to be priced at around about 670k. Now, add in West Coast game, let's say against West Coast, he goes a 170, okay, that's very possible. So, if you do that, he's going to, the price that he's at now, 630k, might still look cheap compared to what he can become later on. So, it's if you don't have him, I think, especially if you're in the top 100 or top 1,000, top 2,000, and you want to make up some ground, you've got to have the best players, and at the moment, Sherry is as good as a Bont or a Butters, who are a lot more expensive. They're about 700k, so at 630k, he could still be a bargain, okay? Last week, he was an absolute bargain, but this week, still could be a bargain, so it's something to think about. Now, Cheezels, on the other hand, okay, change of role, okay, I sold him at 567k. He's still at 567k. He's now what you call cheap. Okay, now everyone owns him. All the good teams do, except for Abs Magic. Okay, 60% of the teams own him. We used to own Sheasel, so we don't own him anymore. So if you don't own him, would you bring him back in? And I would say yes. Okay. trading him out wasn't a mistake because of his role, okay? But now he's a different player. You traded out Cheezels the half forward, you replace him with Cheezels the half back, okay? So there's a difference. And Cheezels, I would say, now becomes a must-have again, okay? So if we don't have him like myself, now if we go further down, okay, at North Melbourne, are there any other players of interest? And I don't think there are. Malay, you could wait another week, okay? He needs to kick goals and take uncontested marks to score well, okay? He may have a big game coming soon, okay? Let's have a look at North Melbourne's draw, okay? Malay, okay, let's go over here. Okay, his break-even is 2. Okay, he's going to play against the Brisbane Lions this week, so that's a tough one. But then he has Richmond, then he has West Coast. So maybe on his bubble against Richmond, let's say Malay scores at 40s, all right? Every week 40. But against Richmond, he scores, let's give him a 70. And against West Coast, he scores a 70. All right, let's say he does this. Okay, I think his job security is not too bad. Okay, now, if you do this, he still makes you 100k. And maybe even more, even going at 40s, okay? It goes 40 against Brisbane, 40 against Collingwood, but 270s in there. Still makes that 100k. So he could be a good buy next week, okay? It could be decent. Something to think about anyway. Now let's go to the Saints and the Freo Dockers, okay? Now this game, I was not expecting this scoreline, okay? Now, if you go have a look at the scores, we've got McRae, we've got Steele. Is Steele a bargain? Let's have a look. Steele. Break-even is 54. He's lost 111k, okay, and he's got matchups now coming up against Carlton, who are decent, okay. You got West Coast. Well, we're sitting against Gold Coast. The midfielders are scoring. You got Melbourne. His draw's not too bad. It opens up now, okay. So the Saints' midfield draw is actually quite good. So you can bring him in, okay, but it's a risk because his history of scoring this year has been up and down like a yo-yo. 80, 106, 80, 46. It's not like he's going nuts. Okay, so it's not a must-have, put it that way. Rowell Marshall, break-even this week of 31. So it's not now or never, but it sort of is, okay? So you sort of want to get him. Last week was 450k, okay? This week is 471. If you do want to bring in a Rowell Marshall, this week is the time. And his draw coming up, okay? He's got a good draw coming up as well, okay? He's got Carlton. Actually, the draw is good, but it's not. He's got Carlton, West Coast. That's the only good one. Then he's got Gold Coast, Melbourne, Western Bulldogs. He played the Western Bulldogs, scored a 66. Okay, although probably should have scored more, but he had the hammy tightness back then from memory. No, maybe not. I don't know what happened to him, but it wasn't him that had the hammy tightness, but something weird with his scoring. 3 bad ones, then goes good again. He's going to be up and down like a yo-yo. He's very similar to a Matt Rowell, okay? So if you can't handle Matt Rowell, I don't know how you're going to handle Rowell Marshall. So they do the same thing. They go 130s or 60s, nothing in between. So could be a good player to have. It could be a yo-yo, okay? It's all about timing with Marshall. Then you got, who else is here? You got Sinclair. If I'm a non-owner of Sinclair, I wouldn't rush to get him in. What has he done? Okay, let's have a look at Sinclair. Because as an owner, I can tell you, I haven't been happy, okay? Now, I got him for the 162 game, all right? So I missed the 95 or 145. I got the 162, 118, 108. So these 3 games were good. The next 3, he just stopped. I don't know what's happened to him. Even this 108, he kicked a crucial goal to get the score because he was on like 90 odd. And then he got the that crucial goal against GWS, then went to 108. So even the last 4 weeks, you can say, his scoring hasn't been sensational. I don't know. I'm a regretful owner of Sinclair. He's actually become painful to watch. So I don't know about Sinclair. There's not much else at the Saints. I mean, Boxall's there, but don't rush, okay? You got another week. You got Poo-Poo to come in, so we'll see what happens with Boxall. But let's go over now to Freo. And you got Luke Ryan. I wouldn't rush on Luke Ryan, okay? Don't let him. He's a con artist as well this year. Lost 160k. Break-even's 81. We don't even know if he'll get that, okay? Because his scores have been like very ordinary, okay? Let's have a look at his scoring. I mean, 78, 79, 52 before this 115. He's only had 2 decent games, okay, 2 big games, say, and the rest have been shambles, okay. So Luke Ryan, I wouldn't rush. Brayshaw is a bargain now, okay. We'll break even at 140, so he can actually get that. That's the funny thing, okay. Brayshaw is one of these players, he can actually score 140, okay. So you can see here, 157, 120, 155, 135. So even at 654k, if he scores the current rate, it's still going to be over 600k. So Brayshaw's still a gun, all right. Sarong, on the other hand, what do you do with Sarong? Do you pick him at 137, break even? I wouldn't rush to get him in, okay? He's struggling. He's only got 137 once this year, 140. His next best score is 108. He's consistent, but struggling, okay? These scores, he got them, even the last 4 weeks, he's been really struggling at half time. He's had a decent quarter to pick up his scoring, but something wrong with Sarong this year. I don't know what's going on with him. Now, Dudley, is it worth bringing him in as a rookie? Okay, his break even is minus 17. He's already made 63k. 162k is not cheap. You can see here he can go at 30s, 25, 7. I mean, he can score bad. I think some of these games were sub-affected as well. If he goes at 40s every week, all right, and then has a spike game, and where's the spike game going to come from? Okay, I don't know about Dudley, okay, probably better options. Sean Darcy as a ruckman has become a spud, okay, he's already lost, he's going downhill fast, so got to wait till he gets better. And not only that, he's actually ruined Jackson, who's now at 64. Now, break even at 150. Jackson's going to drop down to about 450k soon. So just wait on Jackson. Clark, okay, the whole Freo team, discounts everywhere. Now, Clark, he's been very consistent. He's been probably one of the best defenders this year. Just one bad game, and that was last week against St Kilda, which is the funny thing is, everyone usually scores well against St Kilda, okay? So what happened to Clark? No one knows. But with Clark, if he goes at 100 again, all right, he normally goes at 100, okay? If he continues his 105s, all right, probably going to lose another 20k, so you can pick him up Clark about 490k soon. So just wait on Clark. Don't rush to pick him up. And Hayden Young's out, okay, which now means that they're going to probably bring in Nathan O'Driscoll. Okay, now Nathan O'Driscoll's 300k. If he scores, let's go to Nathan O'Driscoll. Now, if you're going to bring in Nathan O'Driscoll, why are you bringing him in? Okay, is it to get a rookie off the field? Because most of your rookies should already be off the field. So you're gambling now with a 300k player. The only reason you're going to bring in Nathan O'Driscoll is possibly now to keep him. Okay, and the funny thing is, I'm thinking about that because I can't afford the expensive one, so I'm going to go for the trash and treasures, okay? And Nathan O'Driscoll, 309k. If he goes at what he was scoring at before he got injured, let's say a 90, all right? If he goes at 90s, projects, all right? He goes eventually to 420k, still makes that 100k, even at 90. So you can probably even get him in as a cash cow. He probably plays on that wing role with a bit of midfield minutes now, so with Young out. So I don't mind this trade for O'Driscoll, especially if he goes at 90s. I mean, if he goes at 95s, even better. So it's something to think about. Now, we go to the Dogs and Port Adelaide, and this game was a shock, okay? Who would have picked the Dogs to win by 90 points against Port Adelaide? I mean, 1 week Port Adelaide looked really good, the next week they looked terrible. Okay, now this was one of those weeks, and usually when Port Adelaide look terrible, they back it up with another terrible performance. So the horny man, he went at 92. We had Zach Butters at 109. Now Zach Butters at 109 is good for us because what happens now? He's at 704k, but don't rush because if he goes at 130s. All right, 130s. He's going to still lose cash, okay? 130 is not enough for him to hold his money, okay? So he's going to score, he's going to lose another 20k, so you can get him at 20k cheaper. And he's got the Adelaide game this week, so we'll see how that goes. That's a big matchup. Usually, they look forward to these big Adelaide matchups. So we'll see how this one goes. But Butters, you can pick it. Don't pay $700K for Butters. I wouldn't pay it. Now, I have jumped the gun of the Dogs. I'll get there in a minute. Okay, let's go. Let's stick on Port Adelaide. There's Lorenz. I really like this kid. Okay, I want to see him one more week. He's got Moraes' role on that wing now. He looked decent, but the fact that they lost, okay, you want to see him another week because you don't know what they're going to do. They're making a lot of changes now, so you don't know what's going to happen. So keep an eye on him. Rosie had a shocker, okay, scored the 78. Actually, made me very happy because we sacked him. So the funny thing is, we sacked Rosie the same week we sacked Ed Richards. Well, one scored the 156, the other one scored the 78. So, mind you, last week Richards scored the 93, so it's a matter of do you want to keep them. Maybe Richards, I should have kept him, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have sacked him. I overthought things, because sometimes you think things too much, and you overthink it. Maybe I overthought it, but with Rosie, I have no regrets. And that's pretty much it for Port Adelaide. And let's go over to the Dogs. I mean, you got your Bonds. Now, here's the problem with Bont, okay? I'm gonna show you something with the Bont. Now, if Bont is 693K, all right? If the Bont scores 130s every week, all right, and the chances are he could do that, okay? He does go down in price, but not much, okay? And you're missing out on these 130 scores. And one big spike game, okay? Let's say one game he goes a 150, and before you know it, he's back up to 700K. The only way you're going to get the Bont is if he goes at 120s, all right? At 120s, then he drops value, 650K. So we need the Bont to go at 120s now, okay? If you want to get him in. Now, he can do 120. You've seen here, GWS 128, but that's really a 130. So it's going to be a tough watch if you don't own the Bont. So we'll see how you go with the Bont. Dale, I don't need to talk about him. He's up and down like a yo-yo. Trelaw, he'll bounce back. He played forward a lot. Still scored the 89. So if we can get Trelaw cheap, what is it, 630K? If we can get about 570, he'll be one to consider as a pod. But after his buy, Libba is the interesting one. Now Libba. Okay, now if we go to the Dogs, Libba's scores this year, he hasn't dropped under 100 all year. This was the first one. Okay, 73. He's actually cheap. 564K for Libba is an absolute steal. Okay, now his break-even is 130. He can get that any time, especially this week against the Dogs, against the Gold Coast. So if Libba goes at his average normal projected score of 120s, all right, you could wait 2 weeks on Libba and then get him the following week. And I'd probably consider this after his, well, you can probably get him after his bye. Okay, he's got the round 11. He plays round 11. He goes 570K, doesn't matter. Get him after his bye and pay the extra 20K. And Libba is one to watch after his bye round. At the Dogs, there's not much more to talk about. Okay, Davidson, he could be cooked. 84. It's his break even. Okay, we held him. Okay, how many times has he got this 84? Got 82 against St Kilda at Marvel, a 129, and that's it. He can't get 84, so it's going to be a possible trade out. If he scores a 60, he loses 10K. So look at losing some cash this week if you're going to hold on to him, which we may have to. I don't know what's going to happen. Now we go to Adelaide and Carlton, and Dawson had a big game, the 156, but he got a lot of his points in the forward line, not in the midfield. Okay, he took some pack marks and kick goals, so it was more or less Dawson as the forward scoring these points. I prefer Dawson scoring a 120 and playing midfield than scoring a 156 and playing full forward and kicking goals. So this does worry me as a Dawson owner. Even though he scored a 156, I wouldn't rush to get him in. Okay, I'd rather see him as a midfielder because we know forwards can be very inconsistent. Rankin is a gun. Okay, Peatling seems to have this midfield role. He's still cheap. Okay, he's 434K, but at 480K you can get other players in. So I'd rather spend the extra 50K. Unless you're tight ass like myself, or you can't afford it, so maybe you have to get him. It's something you can think about. Rochelle in the first quarter played as a midfielder, didn't come back there ever since, so forget about Rochelle. He got most of his points in the first quarter, actually. Laird is doing the usual 95s, and there's not much more at Adelaide, okay? So that's pretty much it for Adelaide. Now, going to Carlton, Cripps is back in the middle, okay, and he's $4.99k, so he's a good price. Problem is that round 12 bye, so probably pick him up after his bye. If he's gonna be up and down like usual anyway. But he's got that midfield role. He looks decent, but I wouldn't rush. Hewitt is gonna drop in price. He may interest me. It may tempt me now after his bye. Okay, now a lot of people talking about Chera and trading him out. Was going to lose cash. Is 131 break even. He's made you 50k, so it's not like he's really made a lot. All right, he hasn't been like the Hewitts. The Hewitt was the one that we had to get. Chera was decent, okay, but the last 2 weeks he sort of stopped. Okay, so it was Hewitt that was the one that we had to get in out of the lot of them, and that's pretty much it at Carlton. There's not much more to talk about. There's Tom De Koning. Okay, now De Koning scored the 80 points. Right, it was matched up against a hard ruckman. His draw's easy now. Okay, now his draw coming up. Well, he's got Sydney. That's a tough one. What did he do against Sydney last year? Well, he scored 28. He must have played forward. Okay, but he didn't do too well against Sydney. But against GWS, scored the 128 round set as a ruckman. Okay, he would have played as a ruckman against St Kilda as well. Only the 83. So, to be honest, I don't know about De Koning. He's been good all year, 148, 104. He's been good all year. Just one bad game, and that was against Rolly O'Brien. Okay, and De Koning does also have West Coast coming up, so and also Essendon, and these two are going to be easy matchups. So if there's no Pittinet, just hold him. Okay, no one is saying Pittinet's coming back in. Okay, no one's saying Pittinet's not going to come back in, but we don't know. Okay, we're not in the selection committee, so we don't know what's going to happen. But Carlton got smashed. Okay, so that's not good news. Okay, and at the moment the Connies are hold. Now we go to Collingwood and Geelong. Now Collingwood, Darcy Cameron had a big game. Okay, but he played Geelong. Okay, and their ruckman went down. So Darcy Cameron, he's been good this year. Is fairly priced at 554k, and he's only had one bad game. I think it was against Port, okay, and the rest have been sort of half decent. A 90 here, 91 there, so he's been good. Okay, he's pretty much been like Nank, but better than Nank. So Josh Dacos, okay, he's only 489k, and he's getting 30 touches every game. Okay, so he's decent. Last 3 games have been really good. The first few haven't been the best. So, does he keep this role? Does he keep getting 30 touches every game? Okay, is he a top 6 defender? It could be. Okay, he's probably even better than half the players that I got in my team. He probably could be even better than Zorka right now, but we don't know if he's the top 6. So, it's very hard to judge over a whole year. Over the last 3 weeks, you can say yes. But over a whole year is a different story. Okay, so I don't know about Dacos, but it's not the worst player to pick anyway. So I'd give the green lights if you're looking at Dacos. Ned Long, 94, another player that we missed. Should have got him in at 280k. Now what is he? Okay, he's now 390. He already made the 110k. Bracket of 48. Didn't do it. Played too safe this year. That's been the problem. I forgot to mention about Ned Long at the start of the program. Should have got him in as well. And Dacos, 89, he'll bounce back. He got tagged. Houston has been disappointing. I wouldn't even look at him. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with Houston. Bracket 150. He's going to be so cheap. Okay, he's probably going to... What's he going to go to? What's he done this year, Houston? One big game. Okay, and the rest have been shambles. Okay, terrible. So... I don't know about Houston. And if we go to, that's pretty much at Collingwood. If we go to Geelong, Bailey Smith, we all know about him, so nothing to talk about there. But there's someone to talk about. It's Holmes. Break-even of 128, plays GWS, okay. He's cheap. He has potential to go nuts. I mean, if you look at his first 5 weeks, but this game against Adelaide kicked 3 goals. So I don't like to count scores of goals in there. I like to see what he would do without a goal. He hasn't set the world on fire, okay? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if any player in Geelong is relevant for Supercoach, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. Now we go to West Coast, and speaking of the Longs and the Mariches, we missed out on. Okay, it's so painful seeing him manage every week. Now, even though it says he made 210k, he did go up to was 280 at one stage. So take that 280 out. He's made 160k. Still break even. He's going to make a lot of cash, scoring points. You're an absolute winner if you own this man. And only 13% of teams have him. That's the difference between the top 13% virtually. Anyone that's jumped on Murray are going to be in the top 10 to 20% of teams. So absolutely good get for you guys. And the rest, you've got a pod, and no one can catch you because of him. So, and he's going to play Richmond this week. He can score a 150 against Richmond. So this could be another big disaster for the non-owners. And the funny thing is, there's no one else here to talk about at West Coast. Okay, who else are we going to talk? We got Matt Flynn. Now Matt Flynn's break even 68. He'll get that against Richmond. And so if he plays this week, just going to hold him. Okay, I'm not going to rush to trade him out unless. I'm going to have to upgrade him to somebody, but it depends. It's team variant, okay? So every team is different, so possibly I'm going to hold him anyway. And Harley Reid, I don't know what's wrong with this kid. He's down at 330k. He's going to be a 250k soon the way he's going, okay? At this current rate, at 250k, if he scores 50s every week, all right, it's giving him a 50 every week. Well, you can pick him up at the buys, about 250k, and I don't even know if I'll be interested. So he's one to look at him. Maybe he gets better when Yo comes back. So I think Yo is the key to Harley Reid. Without Yo, he's no good. Okay, so once Yo's in a team, I think Harley Reid lifts. Maybe he gets inspired by Yo. So maybe he's one that you can look at once Yo's back in a team. Now going over to Melbourne, I mean. The only two players that are Supercoach relevant are these two, okay? And there's not much to say about Gawn, okay? Do you bring him in now at 687k? I'd say no. Even though break-even's 32, you can say it's now or never, but his draw's not the easiest, okay? He's got, if he goes at 130s, all right? Not 300s, okay? At 130s. He's going to go up for 2 weeks, up to 740 or even 3 weeks. It's going to be a massive score, all right, 740k, massive price, but then it drops down again, okay? So if you've missed him this far, you're going to just have to watch in pain as he keeps going nuts, okay? But there's not much you can do. He's not going to play West Coast and Richmond every week. And if you look at his previous week scores, all right, get back there. Well, previous week's scores, I mean, against Freo, he scored the 117, okay? And that's against Shrek. Against Essendon, 145, and they didn't have a ruckman. Okay, now, actually, that was the week Draper got injured. So 145 when Draper got injured, played the he loves playing against the Nang and scored 190 against West Coast. So against Geelong, scored the 122. So it's not like he's an absolute must-have. He's a jet, okay? He's a grandpa that's going nuts, career best form, but the draw does toughen up, okay? So he's not going to have these easy games every week. Although you need to get him by the time you get to the finals, okay? So you have to have him by then. Now going over to the Sydney and GWS game, and there aren't many players that I want to talk about except for Chad Warner, okay? 140. He signed a contract, the 2-year contract, and in the 2 weeks that he's had that contract, he's gone 70% plus in the midfield. I don't know. I didn't see the contract, but maybe it states in the contract that he has to play more mid-minutes because that's what he's doing right now. Looks like he loves the game more again. And 120 and 140. We know that he can score 50s and 80s and 70s as well. Okay, people that owned him last year, I've heard in comments saying that he's the sole reason they ruined their season. He could be similar to a Matt Rowell type player, where he could go nuts and he could have a bad one, okay? But on current form, on current price, how do you say no? Okay, so, and what's his draw coming up? Let's have a look at his draw. He's got Essendon, Carlton, Melbourne, Adelaide, Richmond, Port Adelaide, okay? And the draw's not that bad. So I really like Chad Warner a lot. Now, is there anyone else? There's Heaney here, but Heaney started well. He dropped in scoring, so I think you can wait on Heaney. Okay, he's down 100k. We've got Mills to come back. I think if it affects anyone, it possibly affects Heaney. Okay, and because Heaney's the better forward, so I wouldn't rush to bring in Heaney. And there's number. I mean, what would you do with Roberts? You're probably going to keep him now. He scored the 82. His break even wouldn't be that high. Okay, it'll be roughly, where is it? Okay, no, 95. It should be attainable. However, if he scores, let's say he scores another 80, are you going to keep him? Well, if you go by that logic, all right, the week I traded him out, he scored a 77 and 79. Okay, I traded him out those 2 weeks. Mind you, I brought in Petrarca for him. And then he scored the 119 and 117. So you can keep, you can trade out. It's up to yourselves, you know. So is he going to be a top 6, top 8? Well, the others aren't doing much anyway. So maybe he can be. He's almost the same price as a Zorko now. So you can just swap him to a Zorko, okay? Or you can just keep him. They're doing the same thing. It might even be better than Zorko. Bice scored the 49. We discussed him. His break even, okay, is 71 against Essendon. He might just get there, might not. Maybe a trade out next week for Bice. At GWS, Callahan is impressing me a lot, okay, and he was 410k, and a couple of weeks ago, and now he's gone up to about 500k. What is he? He's actually 500k now. So it looks like with Kelly out, he's got more midfield minutes. He runs a lot. He runs it deep into defence. He gets a lot of cheap possessions as well in defence. I noticed that Whitfield and Ash always give him the ball. Okay, so he always gets cheap possessions from Whitfield and Ash. This was a tough matchup for him. I thought this game he'll get tagged. He didn't. And now he's got Geelong, Freo, Carlton, Richmond, Port Adelaide. He could be the fun of the pick up my best player. And I was thinking about trading him out. So he could be one of my best players. Tom Green, you just saw the draw there. So Tom Green could be worth bringing in soon. Tom Green's price at 550k, break even 139. You can get him cheaper. So just wait on Tom Green. And Lockie Ash, I think he's going to be a top 6 this year. A big miss for most of us. Okay, and he's going to score the 80s, but then he goes to 120s, 130s. So he'll get cheaper. Just wait on him. And Fonte, keep an eye on this boy. Okay, he impressed me a lot. So next week he'll be on the bubble. Okay, and if he's still playing, I'd be considering, even at his price, to bring him in. Now we go to Hawthorn and Richmond, and this was a shellacking. Okay, now players of interest at Hawthorn, there aren't many. Okay, Newcomb is one of them. Okay, scored the 123. Break even is 111. Playing Melbourne this week. His price reasonable, 570k, but it's not cheap, it's not expensive. Would I bring him in? Okay, as a pod maybe. Okay, he's been very consistent. 149, 89, 104. I mean, only one score under 90 the last 5 weeks, but he started badly. Okay, since he's the number 1 midfielder now, he should get attention. But there's not much attention coming his way. He's got an easy draw coming up. So he looks decent. And that's pretty much it at Hawthorn. There's not much here at Hawthorn. Dylan Moore, okay, disaster if you own him. I know my friend Sujuk and Egg owns him, bleeding. Okay, I feel so bad for him. And his break even now is 87. I mean, he should get that. But if he goes, all right, if he goes at, let's say, 90s from now, until let's say another 2 or 3 weeks, what's he gonna make? How further down is he gonna drop? And would you be interested in him? Okay, would you pick him up? All right, well, he's not going to drop much more. Okay, it's pretty much, if he scores 90s, it's nearly as low as you can get him at. Would you pick him up? Okay, I would if I didn't see a 36 and a 39 and a 57 in the system. Okay, and the ceiling hasn't been massive. Like a game against West Coast where the ceiling should have been high, only 108. Against Richmond, the ceiling should have been high. It was a floor. So it's not the same Dylan Moore as last year for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Okay, but Dylan Moore, I think pass. Now we go to Brisbane Lions and Gold Coast. And Will Ashcroft, 130 again. Okay, now the kid's a jet. Okay, now next year, depends what he's priced at. He may actually be a must-have starting player because of development as well as another pre-season under his belt. He scores. I mean, that 43. Take that out. All right, one bad game. 104, 136, 130, 112, 99, 130. I mean, he's better than half my primos, okay? And he's only 48k above starting price. He's still cheap. And he's got a draw coming up against North Melbourne, Melbourne, Hawthorn, Essendon, Adelaide. The draw's not that bad. If you haven't got him, okay, he's not a must-have, but he's a bargain, okay? I'd actually consider him myself, okay? And if you traded him out, which, I mean, at the time, he scored the 43, break-even was, where is it? Well, where's the break-evens? It doesn't show here, okay? Well, it would have been high, okay? So he had lost his cash. I don't think you would have expected him to go nuts again, and he has. So if you're a cheap club, okay, like Abs Magic, and you're looking for bargains, he could be the one under 500k. And McLuggage, I like a lot. And McLuggage, he's probably my favourite player from the Lions to watch because of the fact that he always scores big for some reason. Check out his scores. All right, I'm trying to load it up. The app has gone slow now on me. Oh, here we go. 130. How many games over 130? Or over 127, say, or 125? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games over 120. 5 captain scores in 8 games. That's sensational, okay? And just the 2 low scores, 80 and 80. But McLuggage, he tackles. He gets a lot of the ball, kicks goals, plays a lot of midfield. He's virtually the complete package, okay? So I really like McLuggage. Dunkley at 109. I own him, okay? He's a hard watch for me. And I regret bringing him in at 600k. Now he's at 500k, though. It is a bargain, okay? So at 520k is a good price. I would, if I had my time again, I wouldn't have paid 600k for him. But at 520k, I think it's not the worst decision to bring him in. And Zorko the Magnificent is no good now. Is not too magnificent. It's now Zorko the Spud, okay, the Spudnificent. Just coming down. Anyway, if we go further down, that's it. Well, we didn't talk about Lachie Neale, but what am I going to say about Lachie Neale? Okay, every week Lachie Neale is very good. Okay, now we go to Gold Coast. Noah Anderson, he's decent, but his ceiling used to be massive. Okay, so it looks like his ceiling has dropped, but his floor has risen. So it's the same thing still. Okay, so if you're going to bring in Anderson, you're going to bring in Anderson for his ceiling, and the game that he's supposed to do well on a ceiling game was that Richmond game, and he failed. Okay, so where is it? Where is that Richmond? 105, 89, 105, 113. He hasn't got a ceiling anymore. Okay, the ceiling's gone. But the good thing with Anderson is the floor has gone, so it's very consistent. So he is decent. Unlike his teammate, who is owned by Abs Magic, Matt Rowell. Now, Matt Rowell, break-even of 186, okay? It's total disaster, okay? Now, last 2 scores, I mean, before the last 2 weeks, 137, but that was against West Coast, okay? 136, that was against Melbourne, okay? Clayton Oliver, okay? The 74 against a tough team, Adelaide. Dawson owned him this game. 126, that was against North Melbourne. 130, that was against Richmond. These poor games against good teams, okay? Now, the teams he's playing up against soon, Western Bulldogs, another good team. He may do well here, Hawthorn and St Kilda, even though St Kilda won't be that easy. I've lost interest. I don't know what to think of him. He's got Richmond again. Maybe pick him up when he's 400k, 450k. Get him later back down the track if you want to get him. I wouldn't touch him to bring him in. But as an owner, it is so painful to watch. Okay, it is killing me right now. And how many people own him? Let's have a look. He's owned by 16% of teams. I mean, we saw before Maric was 13% or 12% or whatever it was, and the owners are all happy. Well, I can tell you now that the Rowell owners 16%, which is a high percentage, are not very happy right now. So we'll see how many trade him out, including myself. I may even trade him out. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see what happens. But very disappointing, Matt Rowell. Now let's move over to leagues. Before we go to leagues, I forgot to mention what I scored this week. Okay, I forgot all about it. I was too embarrassed to show it. I didn't really show nothing. But we scored a 22-46. It was a disaster. Now we're ranked 35,000. I've never been ranked this bad in my life, okay? I have been at the start of the year, but that's nothing. When you get to round 8, ranking of 35,000, this is just embarrassing, okay? And it's all down to the fact that I actually can't even fix it. There's nothing I can do to fix this ranking because I'm always behind. The only time the team will improve is possibly after the bye rounds, but team value after round 8 is only $12 million, okay, and it's dropping. I've got players like Rowell going to lose cash. So, team value of 12 mil, I can't even fix it. If you have a look at my team value last year, even the year before, let's go to the history. Now, if we go to last year, round 8, okay, round 8, the team value, we had $1 million cash more in hand, team value. And last year, my team value wasn't the best. So we had 13 mil last year. In a bad year, okay, 2023 was one of my worst years as well, okay? But 2023 was nothing compared to this year. 2023, I was ranked 6,000 by this stage, not 35,000. And this was a bad year, okay? Now, we ended up going up to the top 1,000, then we dropped off again. But we had 12.7 mil cash, so that's one of the reasons we had a bad year. The cash wasn't there. In 2022, okay, this is the year, it was a good year, okay. 2022, round 8, we had 13.2 mil, again 1.2 mil more than we got this year. Mind you, I was ranked 13, not 35,000, so massive, sorry, wrong, I was ranked 7. Okay, that's 13 for the round. 17 was the ranking. But it's just unbelievable, the team value. And I can't improve the ranking. No matter what I do with the ranking, it's going up. It's not going down. Okay, I can't get it to go down. Okay, something's wrong. Okay, we've got to try to fix it. Even cash value is not improving much. Now, to go up in the rankings, the only thing we need now is we need our DeConnings type players to match Gawn's score. That's all we want. I don't want Gawn to score a 199, 200, and my DeConning scores an 80. I just lost 120 points there. So I just need my players to keep up with the players that other players have. That's all I want. I want the Rowells to at least score a 100, okay? I don't want a 130, okay? I'm not greedy guts, but just a 100, just something. It doesn't give me nothing. Gawn uses Spuds, okay? And Oliver, okay, we kept an extra primo, okay, and hashtag primo, because it's not even a primo, but we just kept them. We just need them to go at 100. That's all I want from them. So, especially when you're paying $520K, you got $1 million worth of 2 players there, and they're not going at 100 each, and you got your rookies scoring 80s. You got opposition teams of rookies that they picked them up cheap, under 200K, scoring more than my 2 of my primos combined. You just can't catch up, okay? So no matter what I do, it's not going to work. Eventually, we'll get there. Okay, that's the plan. We don't give up. Okay, now if we go to all the leagues. Now, in the Scodfather Legends, we're coming 17th. I can't even work out how we're not 20th, but we had another loss to Pistol Pete from Dr. Supercoach. He smashed us this week. And now we have, actually, I think every team beat us this week, so we're going to go through all of them. The Scodfather Champions, always hungry, coming second. That's Hung's team, okay, and had a percentage booster, 200-point victory. We had... Shake and Bake, Scodfather Cup 1, and they had a 70-point win. We had my friend here, the Goat Herder, who actually had a draw. Okay, we had the same team. Now we have Big Billy's, that's Billy's team. He pumped us. We had the Roo Boys absolutely smashed us. Now Slim's Garrison, I noticed he's in the Cash League, doing well. So. And as you can see, there's a reason why he's in the Cash League. Absolutely belted us. Scodfather Cup 6. Stuart Bales ranked first. That's Michael's team. Percentage booster. We lost all the matches this week, okay? The crowds went home at half time. Actually, they didn't even sit till quarter time, okay? At quarter time, they left. We had no spectators. So I blame our supporters for this. Now we have meritocracy, okay? I can't even say it. Meritocracy, okay? Something like that anyway. So, the Stevan's team, he smashed us. We had Zane's team, still a Dream of Heaney, okay, and he smashed us, okay. Now we have Tim's team, the Bashcroft brothers. They smashed us. Why can't we just win one game? Okay, we had Brody's team, Lacraz, okay, and for some reason. Every time I played is either second or first. Have a look at it. Second, first, second, well, 14th, okay, first. We played all the tough games. That's why we lost this week. I blame it on the tough games. Anyway, the Ola Lacraz, they smashed us in Scodfather Cup 10. And we're sitting down the bottom on most of the leagues. We're going to collect some wooden spoons this year. We want to have 10 wooden spoons would be very nice. Okay, maybe 11, because didn't count the Champions League. Actually 12 if you include the Scodfather Legend. So we're aiming for some good woodware this year. Not silverware, but woodware. Okay, so we want to have some wooden spoons. Just come on down. Now we go to the Scodfather group. Okay, now at number 1, it's Jack. That's Spicy Mayo Football Club, and we're going to have a chat to Jack tonight, okay? Well, by the time you watch Jack's video, it'll be late tonight. So we're going to have a chat with Jack, and that video will be up, and we're going to find out how Jack did this. He's ranked number 1. We're absolutely stoked for him. So very happy and very proud of young Jack here. Now, Josh, that's the Neil deal, is coming third right now, and he was third last week, so still at third. He just had a quiet week, but still a 24-61 is a decent score. We had the Higginator. That's Matthew's team. Okay, now he's up to 15th spot. Now, we only got 2 teams in the top 10 this week. We have Blackie's Breakouts. That's Dean's team, coming 16th. Slim Garrison, Simon's team, is 19th right now, and he's flying. He smashed me this week. We have Gone Fishing, okay, and he went fishing big time. That's Mitch's team, coming 21st. We have the Underbites. That's Lucas's team. Now, Underbites was ranked number 1. Or number 2 recently. Now he's had a bit of a drop. Okay, so actually he was ranked second last week. He's had a bit of a drop, but he's going to bounce back because I actually like his team. His team's worth 13.1 mil right now. That's massive. Okay, so he's got a lot of cash. Probably the richest club out of all of them. He's what you call the Collingwoods of the AFL in regards to cash generation. So he's got the cash. He's got the fan base. Now, Do a Push-Up Jakey, that's Remy's team, coming 30th. We've got the Slim Dusty Martins, Braden's team, 34th. We've got Zesh Frenzy, that's Lincoln's team, coming 39th. We got Pay It Deliberate Torre, okay, that's Oscar's team, up to 45 now. Okay, they're all moved up. We've got a big move up here from Tom's team, the Warner Brothers. Okay, he's moved up to 58, come from 300 deep. Okay, so he's had a massive week. We got Lockie Neal 3 votes. That's Ben's team, ranked number 60 right now. Dusty Dogs, Michael's team, 65th. We've got quite a few in the top 100. We've got Vessel's team, Alan Avengers, coming 72nd. We have 2 teams coming 78th. We got Humphrey B. Bears, that's Patrick's team, and One Goat, Ian's team. So coming at 78th, they're doing well. We've got a couple of teams with 12.4 mil, okay, bank balance. That's not far above what I've got, okay? So I've got 12 mil, so I'm hoping that these teams can find some cash, because when you're playing against teams like Dusty Dogs that are worth 13 mil and Lockie Neal 3 votes, you need the cash behind you as well. So hopefully these teams can come strong in the second half and have more cash built into their teams. Now, we go further up, okay? Now, we got the Swans Rule, as Derek's team had a big week, okay, and jumped up to 85th. We had a drop in rankings for Denial and Error, okay? He dropped 44 spots, but still at 92nd spot right now, still in the top 100. And to top it off, we got the Super Spuds, Peter's team, okay? And the Spuds have gone up in the rankings into the top 100 now. So Peter's team's very happy right now. The Spuds, okay? Why can't my Spuds be Super Spuds? And I got my Spuds are just Spuds. They're not super. They're just Spuds. They're just King Spuds. That's what my Spuds are. And Primetime Parente, that's Joe's team. He's moved up the rankings big time. He's knocking down the door of the top 100. So virtually we've got 20% of the top 100 is in the Scodfather group. That's massive. Okay, so I'm very proud of all these teams. Even, I mean, if you go to the top 200, we own 36 teams. So 18% of the top 200 are in the Scodfather group. So it's a massive achievement for all these teams. We will be doing a trades video. I'm very confused right now. I don't know what to trade, who to trade out. It's very confusing me right now. So we're going to go through this tomorrow, and we've got so many options. I really want to see the team sheet, so I might have two videos, because one probably going to be the one that I want to do. Then I might be forced to do other changes after I see the team sheets. There might be some late changes coming in, but that's going to be all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.